Hello and welcome to another ICT session. Today we want to do a short revision on different types of computer hardware and what they do, and we will also look at what software do on computer. Basically, ICT refers to all those technologies which relate to communication of information. There are many types of technologies which are used to pass information from one person to another. Some might use a computer, like you can see in this image here. A boy is using computer. Probably he is typing a letter and will attach it to email and send it to his dad. Probably the boy could be reading something from the website on the internet. Maybe it is the revision notes, or he could be watching a video from YouTube. So he is using a computer to read something from the internet. That is what we call communication. Information is passing from one media to the person. Other form of technologies are like mobile phones. You can see there is a picture of somebody calling someone else on the mobile phone. Here, they are communicating using sound. The guy could speak, then the other person on the other end can hear. This is part of ICT. It is a technology which is used in communication. Another example here, you can see mom is watching television. Probably she's following on news, what is happening around the world. The smart TV she's using is relaying information to her. So there is communication happening here. So this television communication is also part of ICT. You can see a picture of aeroplane here flying, and probably the pilot is communicating to some officers in a certain airport that he is going to land there. So there is communication going on here. There are some communication devices installed in this aeroplane, and the pilot is using those ones to relay information to the nearby airport to alert them that he is about to land. That is also part of ICT. You can see a picture of a robot here. Robots are used in companies, especially manufacturing companies, to make things. It has a robotic arm which can do a lot of things like spraying, lifting things, cutting metals, and such things. These robots are controlled using computers, and most of them work automatically. They know what they are supposed to do. And all those things are ICT. But a robot is also mechanical, because there are some parts like cutting, welding, those are mechanical engineering parts. But the control part of the robot is basically ICT. Look at an example here of a classroom setup where we have a projector and a smart board. This is used by the teachers and students in the learning process. All these ones are ICT. So the word ICT simply means information and communication technology. And these technologies are applied all around us, from using the internet, calling, watching television, communication in the aircraft, robots, and even in other areas like hospitals and offices. All these comprise what we call ICT. Now, what is a computer? Computer is just like any other machine, except that it takes in raw data. By raw data, I mean information which is not in a way that we can make a decision with. We must process it to make it meaningful and easy to understand. So, a computer is simply a device which takes in raw data Then it processes it into meaningful information. This information, you can also call it processed data, because it is just coming from data which has been processed. And the information which is coming out after processing is used to make decisions. Like in business, the manager or the trader might want to know how much profit have I made, or am I making a loss, or who are the clients who have not paid and who are the clients who have paid. All those information can be obtained from the computer in a summarized way. Sometimes we even use graphs to show how things are moving in the business. Another good example is in the academic. You can only know whether somebody has passed or failed by calculating the mini grade from different subjects. So from there, the class teacher or the subject teacher can know who is leading, who is in the middle, or who is at the bottom of the grades book. All this processing work is done using computers. And we have different types of computers, as you can see here. We have this one, the laptop, this one which opens like a book, and it is the one most commonly used nowadays because it is portable. By portable, I mean you can carry it from one place to another. Other type of computer is this desktop computer. This one is called desktop because it is supposed to be put on a desk and you cannot move it from one place to another. And when you visit most offices, you will find secretaries using desktop computers. A good example of a desktop computer can be found in the reception section of the office. When you enter into any office, at the reception, most of the time you will see this type of computer. There are some people who might ask, which are advantages of laptop compared to this desktop? A laptop is small, portable, and it has a rechargeable battery inside. It means even if you are away from house or office, you can still use a laptop because once it is charged, you can use it away from the electricity socket. Another advantage of laptop, it is small in size and uses less power, and it is efficient. But this desktop computer uses more power, but most of them have a bigger CPU or system unit box. This system unit box can accommodate a lot of things. For example, you can add more storage to it by adding more hard drive inside it. You can even increase the amount of memory space inside it. You can even add other devices like a TV card, or if you have a certain games console, there are some games board you can install inside the CPU and use that computer to do other functions in addition to what it can do. So the desktop computer has a big advantage of allowing us to expand the functions of the computer. Then comes here the tablets. Tablets are also more portable than laptops, and most of them come with touch screens. You can do a lot with it, and it has a larger storage space compared to smartphone. And you can also use it to call people. You can put a SIM card in it of a certain telecommunication company, for example, Safaricom or Airtel, and you use it to call people. You can use it to type letters because it has on-screen keyboard which can pop up and allows you to type things like letters and even write emails and respond to your emails. A smaller version of this tablet is the smartphone. And the smartphone is mostly used for calling people, sending short messages, and for chatting. Another common type of computer is this one, smart TV. The reason why we call it smart is simply because it has some capabilities of a computer. You can install applications in it which do different things. You can even record a certain program which was running when you are away. Then when you come, you can play it back. So all those capabilities has turned the television set into a computer, and we call it smart TV set. Now, which are the components of a computer? There are only two main components of a computer, the hardware and the software. The hardware are parts you can see and touch. Like you can see there is a boy opening the CPU box here. Maybe he's trying to fix something or remove something. These parts he is touching are what we call hardware. And mostly they are electronic parts and they use electricity. They are just wires, electronic chips, and probably few mechanical parts which could be rotating, like the CD drive and such things. You can even find a fan here which is rotating and cooling the CPU box. All those parts are what we call hardware. Then, what is software? Software simply refers to that part of computer which runs on the screen to do something for you. The work of software is simply to do tasks for the users, and they are simply instructions which do things in step. For example, if I wanted to type a letter, I will start MS Word. That MS Word is a software and it will help me write a letter. If I want to calculate figures, I will start MS Excel and I use it to calculate figures. Probably there's totals to do with my budget, or I want to know the value of items in the shop. I will use software to do that. And software we cannot touch. We only open them on the screen, use them on the screen, and close them on the screen. So don't confuse between hardware and software. Software are simply instructions which run on the screen to do something for the computer user, while hardware are parts which can be seen and touched, and mostly they are electronic parts. All these work together to achieve the functions of the computer. And remember, a computer hardware can do nothing without software. You have to install software on the computer hardware for it to do the things you want. Then remember also the main software which is installed on the computer first is what we call operating system. A good example of operating system is MS Windows. Once MS Windows is installed on the computer hardware, other applications like MS Word, Excel are now installed. And when you are switching on a computer, it is the operating system which loads first, then gives you the desktop. Then you are in a position now to open any other application you want. Now looking at the computer hardware, different parts of the hardware do different tasks. The functions which computer do are only four. The first one is what we call input. Input deals with accepting data from the outside world into the computer. And this is normally done by devices such as keyboards and mouse. When you click, you give instruction into the computer. When you type letters on the keyboard, you are sending data into the computer. And the computer is doing what we call input function. Once there is input, the input is saved in the memory. The computer has a temporary storage location called memory. Whatever is in the memory is also shown on the output device like monitor. Then you will tell the computer what to do with that data in the memory. You could start a program and run the data and format it and present it in a good format like a letter or a report or accounting, budget and such. Once you have your file, you save it in a storage device. So before you save in a storage device, the computer will show you the output of your work. When you are satisfied, you will store it in a storage device. So these are 4 basic functions of a computer. Now, which are input devices? We have a couple of them here. The first one is the keyboard, and keyboard has 2 main functions. One is to type information into the computer, and it is made up of keys, you can see, and these keys have alphabetical and numeric labels on them. So if I want to type a sentence, I will simply use a keyboard, and that will be data being fed into the computer. Apart from feeding data into the computer, the keyboard is also used to give commands or instructions to the computer. For example, if I want to save, I can press Control and S keys together. By doing that, I'm telling the computer to save the work. If I want to escape from what I am doing, I can press the escape key. If I want to complete a task, I can even press enter to complete. All those are what we call commands given to the computer through keyboard. Another input device is the mouse here. This is used for dragging, clicking, opening things on the screen and such things. Another one is the scanner. You can put a document in the scanner and take a copy of it into the computer and then save it as an image or a picture. This is also an input device. If you are using a laptop, probably you don't have a mouse, simply because you are using a trackpad to move the pointer on the screen, open things, and do your work. Other types of computer hardware which are input are like a joypad. This is an input device used for playing games and controlling games programs. If you want to draw, especially freehand drawing, you want to draw a flower, a cartoon, you will use a graphic tablet. This flat device with a screen for drawing is called graphic tablet. Then this pen-like device, which is used for drawing using your hand, is called stylus. So don't confuse a graphic tablet and a stylus. Remember also that a tablet is also a type of a computer, but a graphic tablet is not a computer. It is simply an input device where we draw on using a stylus. There is only one processing device on the computer. This is what we call system unit. This is a system unit for a desktop computer. A laptop computer has all its parts packaged together, and below the keyboard, that is where the CPU is hidden, just below the keyboard here. And also below the keyboard, you will get a lot of devices, the power supply and memory and storage location, all of it, they are below this keyboard. So the processing device is the system unit or CPU of a computer. We don't have any other processing device. And this processing part is the main part of the whole computer. It is the one which is doing all the processing work. There are some devices which will give you information from the computer. They are communicating from the computer to the outside world. A good example is this one, the monitor. The work of the monitor is to show you what the computer is doing. Another device which can do similar work as monitor is this projector. By using a screen, it can also show you what the computer is doing. And it is good for showing large images to a group of people, like in class or in a meeting. Then here comes the printer. If you want your information on the screen to be put on a paper, you print it using a printer. A copy on the screen before printing it is called soft copy. When you print it on a paper, we call it hard copy. And you can get a hard copy by printing the image on paper using a printer. Then there is also another printing device which is called plotter. The work of plotter is to print on large sheet of papers large images such as wall charts, wall map, large calendars, large posters. All those are printed using a plotter. Then if you want to get sound from what is playing on the computer, a video or anything else, you use a loudspeaker or earphone. For example, here, devices which save our information such as files and folders, they are called storage devices. And we have two examples or two groups. We have the internal storage devices. These ones are inside the CPU box. And here you can see I have what we call a memory card. This memory card is a storage device inside the CPU. And the work of a memory is to store information, what you see on the screen, before you save it in the hard drive. It is only holding it temporarily as you are using that file or the information on the screen. Once you are ready to save it permanently, then it is moved from the memory into the hard drive. And in this picture here, you can see this is what we call hard drive. It is storing files and folders permanently. So from the storage, it is stored permanently in the hard drive. Then these two are what we call internal storage because they are inside the CPU box. There are some devices we call removable storage devices like flash pen, external hard drive, CD, DVD, Blu-ray discs, and SD card or memory cards. These cards, the memory card, the flash pen, these ones you can only store information in them from computer. They are not part of the computer. You just insert them in the USB slot, copy what you want into these removable devices, then you can transfer that information from one place to another. That is why we say they are removable. You insert them, then you can remove them and take them somewhere with information in there. Thanks very much for participating in this revision lesson. See you next time. Bye bye.